In today's breaking story, an FBI director has just discovered a suspicious moment in Maxwell's Justice Department interview. That's right, things keep getting more and more suspicious involving Donald Trump and the never-ending Epstein scandal. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avallone here with Occupy Democrats. Now, as I was saying, Trump is a disaster, and his idea of justice is a warped mess. He doesn't care about fair elections, true justice, or even just the truth.
Did not draw the map. Do you know who drew the map?
I don't have any personal knowledge as to who physically drew the map, no.
You know who knows who drew the map?
I'm assuming it was a product of the House author and their counsel.
But you haven't actually had a conversation with him about that, or you have?
I haven't talked to him about that.
So you can't name people who gave instructions for crafting boundaries or any line specifically?
No.
Is it fair to say, with all of the information and access you have, your view of the state, your tenure as an elected official, that you might have some semblance of some common sense racial data in the state?
Yes, I guess. I have common sense data, but I have not drilled into racial data with regard to redistricting.
I just have a really hard time understanding how there's no regard to race at all when we heard hours and hours and hours of testimony, a lot of it focusing on race.
Drilling into the racial data to the extent that you would have to draw a map based upon racial criteria, I haven't looked at any of that.
Do you know who decided that there should be changes made from the committee version of this bill?
The main changes being 16-9 and Navarro County. I don't know whose idea that was.
You know anyone who proposed any changes throughout this process? I know we don't know who drew it. You don't know who made those changes. Are you aware of anyone who participated?
I don't have
in those.
I don't know the mechanics of how all that came together.
Have you had any communication with Hunter at all, Representative Hunter?
Not about those changes, no. I don't think we've talked since.
Speaking of Trump's delusional view of justice, this wholesome moment is currently going viral, showing Kilmar Abrego Garcia
Sí se pudo, sí se pudo, sí se pudo, sí se pudo. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Sí se pudo, sí se pudo.
And now, an FBI director has just discovered a suspicious moment in Maxwell's Justice Department interview. That's right, take a look at today's top story.
It was quite fawning and obsequious, but let me play some more.
President Trump was always very cordial and very kind to me, and I just want to say that I admire his extraordinary achievement in becoming the president now, and I like him, and I've always liked him.
Director, I just want to point out, I mentioned it briefly, but I want to emphasize something I said at the top of the program, and that is that Maxwell's first mention of Trump in this interview with Blanche came unprompted, right? He didn't even have to ask about him for her to bring him up. And then we played some of the things she went on to say in the most glowing terms, calling him president, not by his name. And you actually say that that's not a coincidence, that the fact that she kept referring to him as president and not by his actual name?
Yeah, I just think the entire thing, Aaron, is so curious. It's so suspicious. When you listen to the tapes, you get the sense that Ghislaine Maxwell went into that room knowing what information she had to deliver to get their attention and to get their approval and to get some sort of benefit that she is pursuing from the administration. And the administration, in the form of Todd Blanche, went into that room knowing what information he needed, which was what she was going to say about Donald Trump's involvement or non-involvement. And both sides delivered to each other's satisfaction. Ghislaine Maxwell, unprompted, spoke glowingly of the president, referred to him only in the most respectful term, which, is obviously the way that he prefers to be treated. And we know that at the conclusion of this, totally unconventional interview, an interview with someone who is purporting to try to become a government cooperator and has the opportunity to be interviewed by the Deputy Attorney General. That's something that never, ever happens. There are no actual line agents or investigators in the room to serve as witnesses or to document the interview in the normal way. It's recorded and then immediately released to the public, which is not something you would ever do with the testimony of somebody who you were considering turning into a cooperator. Nothing about this process was conventional or normal, but it does seem that both the administration and Ghislaine Maxwell got exactly what they wanted from it.
Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.